All right, so talking about Spain, all right? Obviously, what's the answer to the first one? First question up there.
What was the first country to begin conquering
Spain.
and colonizing the New World?
It was obviously Spain, because what's the title of this lesson?
Spain, America.
Yeah.
America.
All right.
Yeah. What was the first
Spain. Okay, so who did the Spanish send to the New World to accomplish this?
Columbus.
At first.
Well, what were the groups of people called?
Cortez
They were
and
called
Conquistadors.
Conquistadors. Okay.
Are we gonna learn about that?
C-O-N-Q-I-S-T-A-D-O.
That's right.
We will, but that's not Span. That's not Spain. That's England.
England?
Yeah. They sent the Pilgrims.
Well, they didn't send them. The
Well-
Pilgrims left.
Yes, but they were given permission to leave.
Yes.
And
The
really,
Pilgrims were given permission.
but that's chapter 4, I think, or maybe it's actually a next lesson. It's one of those.
Oh, we get to learn.
So we're coming across it.
We
Okay.
should save it for them.
Yeah. So they sent the conquistadors over, and one of the things that the conquistadors, the
They
terms
conquered-
of their conquest were what?
Basically they could explore the new world, and if they found wealth and like treasure and
Yeah,
stuff,
we get half.
they got to keep Spain would take 1/5 of it, but the rest they could keep.
Yeah, they got to keep a portion of what they found. That was the motivation for the conquistador, for the why they chose to do such a hard task. Okay, why was it important for Spain to form new settlements and part of colonization? Why is that important? Like, if you're going to settle something, why do you have to form or if you're going to colonize something, why do you have to form settlements? David. I think you said someone could come and take it? Yeah, because if you don't have settlements, you can't control the territory, right? If the U.S. says, hey, we were the first ones up on the moon is ours, but we don't put anybody up there, how good of a statement is that? Like, is that worth anything?
Not really.
No. We have to put people there to colonize if we want to claim it as ours. Okay. So there were two really, really wealthy Native American groups that we've already talked about. Which were they?
Aztec and Inca.
Aztec and Inca.
Over.
Aztec and Inca, right? So the New World, or kind of Columbus started off in what year? 1492. So when he's coming back, bringing this information back to Spain, Spain's taking it, getting conquistadors ready, and they're sending the conquistadors out, right? So probably, based off this timeline, how many years from Columbus does Cortez set sail? About
190.
closer to 30. Yeah, it's 20 years to, it's about 20 to
27.
1500. But Columbus set sail in 1492, so add 8, so about 27 years.
Oh,
Okay.
It is 27.
So, when Columbus first set sail, what's an assumption that we can make about Cortez?
He went after him.
He knew he.
How old was Cortez when Columbus set sail?
Old.
About, what assumption could we make?
14.
Was he an old man or a young man?
Old man. Young man.
Okay, guys, look. No, that was how old was Columbus when he set sail?
He was
He
young.
was like 15.
Huh?
Middle
Young.
age.
Young.
Young
But
man.
he was probably
He
more on
was
the
a
younger
young
side.
20.
Okay? Because this is 27, he set sail 27 years after Columbus set sail.
Okay.
So he was on the younger side when Columbus
Like the
set
20s.
sail.
So he was like 15.
20.
Possibly.
long
Like,
did it
like, you'd have to look up his exact, what was his, what year was he born? I haven't looked that up.
Sir?
Yes, Mike.
It takes 2 months to get to America from
Yes.
Spain, right?
Yes. Not 2 months.
By boat.
Yeah, by boat. All right. So in 1519, Cortez lands in the New World. He discovers the Aztecs, and what does he do to them?
He
He
defeats
kills them.
He defeats them
Yeah.
and fights them.
How?
So basically, they had cannons and guns.
Well, but let's talk about the guns. Cannons really weren't developed.
They had guns, which they had
But-
a bunch of technology that the Native
Okay.
Americans didn't.
Well, let's talk about their guns. Okay? Their guns are not like guns that we have today. It's not even like guns that they had in the Revolutionary War, the muskets. They're like tubes that you would put shot in and light it. And it would take about, you can't rapid fire that. Okay? It was more of a kind of a one shot, and then you switch over to your
Knife.
sword.
I mean sword.
Larger
Sword.
sword. Okay. So, but it's still 500 conquistadors against the entire Aztec
Empire.
empire.
But the
So
the
what-
empire was scared.
What did the Aztecs also use, Mike? Or sorry, what did the Spain?
Disease.
They basically said, hey slaves, we're gonna free you if you kill the Aztecs.
Well, who were the people?
Other
the
empire. Other Native American
Other Native American empires.
Yeah, other Native
War tribes.
Americans in the area, because the Aztecs weren't really good to
They
those
were
natives,
nice.
right?
They were mean.
So the conquistadors teamed up with them to overthrow. What year did he conquer them by? By what year did he conquer them?
I don't know.
What?
1519? I don't know.
Well, that's when he arrived. What year did he conquer them?
1520.
Don't guess.
1520.
Uh, 2 years. 1521.
Yeah, 1521. It was 2 years. It says it there somewhere. I don't remember exactly.
Somewhere.
Okay, but by 2 years, 1521, he conquers them. Okay, does Cortez get pretty rich off that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he gets to keep a good portion of it. Okay, next up, 1531, Francisco Pizarro conquered which group?
The Inca.
The Inca. Where were they located? Where were they located?
America.
South America, Peru. Okay, and we've already talked about how Pizarro did this, right? Who did he capture?
The leader.
The leader, and he held them for ransom, right?
And then still kill.
And then he still killed him. Then he still killed him. Okay.
Talk about brutal.
Oh yeah.
That's a.
Yes.
No, I was talking about my own problem.
Okay. Well, we're up here talking about Spain's problem, which becomes the New World's problem,
Yeah.
right? So, two of the first expeditions with Cortez and Pizarro, they hit it big, didn't they? Yeah. So word gets back about these big hits, and to Spain. And do you think people in Spain were like, hey, if that's what we got already, we'll probably find more, right? So Spain believed that they might find more gold in North America. Now, they found a lot of silver in Mexico and South America, and that ended up kind of wrecking their economy in a way, but we'll talk about that later on. Okay. So 1513, so this is actually before Cortez finds the Aztecs. We have Ponce de Leon. And he starts searching North America, lands in Florida, and kind of works his way up. What's he searching for?
Gold.
No, well, not really.
People.
The city of gold.
Nope.
Oh, that's not
The
right.
fountain.
Huh?
What did you
The
say?
fountain. The life fountain.
Fountain
of
of
life.
Youth. Fountain of
There's another
Youth.
explorer who looked for the city of gold.
Yes, we haven't gotten there yet. Okay. Fountain of Youth.
Say
Does that exist?
What? No.
No.
It's rumors.
Yeah, it was all rumors. Okay, I'm not even sure where Ponce de Leon like got the idea.
There's a developers. Sorry.
Okay, not sure where Ponce de Leon got the idea that the Fountain of Youth existed, but it was a rumor. He went exploring. Was his expedition a waste of time?
Yes.
No.
No, they
wasn't.
established a
Okay,
settlement there.
let me ask two separate questions. Was it a waste of time for Ponce de Leon?
Yes, it was. No, it wasn't.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yes,
Did,
it
I mean,
was.
did he find? No.
No.
Okay, Janet, can you have your? Thank you.
But it wasn't
Okay.
entirely used.
But was it a waste of time for Spain?
No.
No.
Yeah.
No, not for Spain.
He found something. I think
No.
it was a trade route.
Well, no, he established a fort in Florida,
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine, and Spain would use that fort as a base, kind of a home base. Okay. Then we have Cabeza de Vaca. What does that mean in Spanish?
A bad.
Head of a cow.
Wait, what?
Cabeza
Gabi.
de Vaca.
Oh, I learned that in Spanish last year.
Head of cow.
I learned that in Spanish.
Okay, guys.
We learned about bull.
Okay. So Cabeza de Vaca, he sets out his expeditions from 1528 to 1533. What is he looking for?
Riches.
Yeah, specifically what type? Like in what
Gold.
form?
It does.
Gold. Specifically,
Specifically.
7
Season.
cities of gold.
Oh, yeah.
Texas.
But then they tell him, oh, it's
Okay.
that way. Yeah, they tell him it's that way.
Yeah. So he's heard rumors of the 7
Again.
cities of gold. Now this is after Cortez,
Correct.
right? So Cortez arguably found the first city of gold with the Aztec Empire, got rich. So now Cabeza de Vaca is looking for the 7 cities of gold that he's heard rumors of, right? So he arrives on the Gulf Coast, and what happens? What hits him in the Gulf?
A hurricane and it wrecks his boat.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. He gets shipwrecked.
Did they die?
Okay, a lot of them do.
And then they
No.
migrated.
Cabeza de Vaca.
Last month.
Yeah, guys. Okay.
What happened?
Cabeza de Vaca and a few survivors. What did they resort to survive?
Cannibalism.
Yeah, they ate the dead conquistadors.
Oh.
Okay? And it was the point where the Native Americans that found them, like that kind of rescued them, they were disgusted at what Cabeza de Vaca had resorted to.
But they
Right.
took him in anyway.
Yeah, well, what did he do to convince the Native Americans that found him not to kill him? He tricked them a little bit. What did he do?
He made the sun and the moon go down.
No, that was Columbus.
Oh.
With the others.
They were in Texas.
They were in Texas.
Okay, so the Native Americans enslaved, are they the ones that they enslaved?
Yeah, but how did they survive? Like, what did they convince?
They took them
They became
in
enslaved.
and they took care of them, right?
They convinced the Native Americans that they were kind of like medicine men.
Yeah.
Right.
They like stitched them up.
Yeah, like they had, you know, that they had healing powers.
Yeah.
Call them that. Okay.
I ain't gonna lie.
And so they escaped the Native Americans from that and eventually settled where? Which part? Well, what? Mexico City.
Yep.
Good. Then we have De Soto. Okay, Hernando de Soto. He's also searching for these 7 cities of gold.
Doesn't find it.
Let's see. Yeah, how was he received?
Rolling on.
I don't know if it was him, but or was it Fernando? Anyways, so was he the one where it was like the Native American, like he found the Native Americans and then like he was enslaved?
Was he received
No.
well, like open arms? No. It was almost as if as soon as he landed, it wasn't soon after, or wasn't too long after that he starts quarreling with natives that he finds along the way.
He got fooled.
Okay. And so DeSoto's journey, that was in the southeastern part of the U.S., right? Right? How does it end?
Yeah.
How does DeSoto end?
He could get killed.
He does. Where does he get buried?
Huh?
Where does he get buried?
I think throw him in the water.
Huh? Where does it say?
It says here, where are we?
And here.
Ah, the native people often, Mississippi
Okay.
River.
Yeah. He well, no, he was buried around the Mississippi. Like he crossed it, and soon after crossing it,
Did they find the body?
But the
Huh?
Kobe gone.
Did they have his body?
find.
His
Oh,
body.
I mean, it was decomposed before.
His bones
How
though.
they find?
It's still decomposed.
I thought bones.
No, bones can decompose.
What about
Okay.
fossils?
All right. So, 1540. Any of y'all ever watch Indiana Jones?
I've heard of
Okay,
it.
which is the best Indiana Jones?
First one.
The one in the cave.
I never
Well,
watched
it's
one.
the scary thing he's rolling
Okay, which is the second best Indiana Jones?
The one in the cave in the rock.
You say the Temple of Doom?
The
I
one
don't
with
know
the
what it is.
scary, really big ants.
I don't watch any.
Is that a real person?
No, Indiana Jones is not.
It's
Okay,
a-
but-
No fiction, no.
I would argue that one of the best Indiana Jones was the third one, The Last Crusade, with Sean Connery in there
I
as
didn't
well.
like that one.
Okay.
That was Sean Connery.
All right. No, not Sean John. Okay. But at the beginning of that movie, The Last Crusade, you have the young Indiana Jones exploring the caves, exploring the southwest, like Arizona area, and he finds something. Does anybody who's seen that movie remember what he finds?
Gold.
It's a cross. It's a golden cross.
I never watched.
Okay, Chris, you've already said that, so you don't have to repeat it. Okay. He finds a golden cross that belongs to Coronado.
Oh my god.
Okay, so Francisco Coronado, he begins searching for the cities of gold. Okay, and based off like that Indiana Jones, what can you figure out about what part of the North America that he searched? Told you that Indiana Jones was in like Arizona.
The middle.
It was hot. Middle West?
Southwest,
Southwest.
Arizona, New Mexico, Texas.
I was close.
Okay. In fact, in Lubbock, one of the high schools in Lubbock is called Coronado High School. Okay.
Indiana.
Named after Francisco Coronado. Okay. Was he successful in finding fountains of? Sorry, not the fountain of youth.
No.
The cities of gold.
Nope, nope, nope.
Why?
Because
they don't exist.
They don't exist.
Yeah.
What's most likely the logic behind the cities of gold?
Adobe homes in the sun.
Yeah. We tend to
Grand
think
Canyon in the sun.
that it was probably the adobes, maybe Mesa Verde, this large adobe structure, and when the sun hit it from far away, it
looked-
shimmered
Yeah.
in the heat in the sun, and it came off as looking like the cities of gold.
And I forgot which explorer, but one of the Native Americans, so Native Americans were like, here, we'll show you the way. So they guided him there, and then, like, they guided him there, and then they killed him.
Hey.
It happened, right? Well, let's talk about life under Spanish rule. Okay, so Spain established, now that they're establishing settlements there, they established 3 types of settlements that they would establish. Pueblos, what are pueblos?
A town in the Spanish ruled land.
Towns.
Oh,
They're towns.
yeah.
Missions, what are they?
A religious community where farming was carried out.
They're religious structures, yes.
Okay, yeah.
And presidios?
A fort.
A fort.
Yeah.
I was
Okay, so pueblos are towns, missions are religion, and presidios are for
Town.
military.
Military.
Okay, what type of settlement was the Alamo?
It was
It was like
a
presidio.
presidio.
a base.
A base.
A base.
A base.
Wait, you're saying a base or a mission? Which one is it? It was a mission.
Yeah.
Okay. A base would have been a presidio,
Right,
okay? A fort,
right.
okay? But the Alamo was a mission. It was a religious group. We turned it in during the Texas War for Independence. It got turned into kind of a fort,
That's what I've heard.
but the original, like, it was a mission. It was designed as a mission.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I watched this movie, I forgot what it was, the dude.
So, life under Spanish rule. Not, yeah, it wasn't that great. Okay, is there a caste system where some people are worth more than others?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, to be at the top of the pyramid, the top of the caste system, you had to be from where? Spain. Okay, and so if you were from Spain, if you had traveled over, you were born in Spain and traveled over to the New World, traveled over to Mexico, or one of the other parts of the Spanish Empire there, you were called a peninsular.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Now let's say your parents are from Spain, they came over here to Mexico, and they had you, but you were born in Mexico. No. If you were born here,
What?
Creoles.
So if you were
Okay.
born by
There's a French difference. Yes.
So after all of the people that were from Spain died, they would have no.
Yeah, but more people would come over from Spain, and they would be at the top end. Okay. A mazito would be who?
Middle class?
Yeah, but
I
but
think it
kind
would be
of
like a
mix.
Native American and Spanish.
Mix. Part Native American, part Spanish. Mazito.
I knew it.
Okay. Following the mazitos, so then we're going from the top of the caste system down to the bottom. You had Native Americans, and then following the Native Americans under the Spanish system were the enslaved Africans. Okay, so let's talk about how enslaved Africans came to be in the New World. Conquistadors, remember, like, did all the conquistadors find a lot of gold?
Not all of them.
No. In fact, it was more of a rarity to find gold than a rule.
Right.
Right? So the conquistadors had to make their money, their fortune, some other way. And they decided to kind of start this kind of farming system where they would benefit from the farm aspect, from the plantation aspect. Okay? So they could demand taxes or labor. They chose labor. And so who did the conquistadors first use as slaves? Native Americans.
Then Native Americans.
Why did Native Americans not work out for
Because they started killing themselves.
disease?
Also that.
Okay.
They brought disease over.
Intentionally or unintentional?
Unintentionally.
Unintentional. Why? Yeah. Why would you want to kill off your workforce, right? Okay. So they weren't treated as equals. They were downtrodden, and so here comes the savior of the Native Americans in a way, Bartholomew de las Casas. Okay. Did he like how the Native Americans were being treated?
No.
No. So he says, I got an idea. Let's not use Native Americans as slaves. Let's treat them better. And instead, let's go over to Africa and buy slaves from them.
So he was a good person.
What?
The
What was that,
Native
John?
Americans, he was But everybody else, he was just as bad.
Yeah. He was, in the eyes of the Native Americans, he was a
great-
good person.
But
In the eyes
everybody
of
else,
history,
he was
not so
bad.
much. Not so much. Okay? And so they get that idea. And so after Portugal was the first country that started enslaving Africans, right?
Right.
Spain followed suit, bringing Africans over. That's why if you look at some Spanish cities like, or not Spanish cities, but Spanish colony areas like Cuba, does Cuba have a black population? Yeah. Yeah, they do. A lot of the Caribbean countries do have a black population, and that's a direct cause of the enslaved people that Spain brought over. Okay, we'll stop there for today. Or is this the last slide? No. We have a couple more, but we'll save these last two for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a short day anyway. Okay, and then what do we have on Tuesday?
Quiz.
Quiz.
Lesson 3. And you want to on Monday.
What are we